Welcome to PACTApp web. In this tutorial, I am going to show how to manage the baseline forms. To access the baseline forms, first we have to click on the baseline from menu bar, then baseline forms. The baseline forms will be loaded. By default, all the drafted one will be loaded here. If we want to see the published one, we have to use the filter on top. Clicking on the down arrow, all the available options will be shown. There will be three options: drafted, published, archived. If we want to see the published one, we have to select published and click on the filter. All the published ones will be shown here. We can actually do search on this item as well. So writing anything and clicking on the search button will search. We can clear the search box by clicking on the clear button. For the item in the list, we can see a detail of a baseline form by clicking on the eye icon here. For example, if we click on the eye icon for health, it will load the baseline form for health. From here, we can see all the available questions that are under the health baseline form. We can go back from the breadcrumbs on top, left top of the page. From here we can actually create new or edit existing one, or we can add skip logic in the existing one. So these are the actions button for this type of work. I am going to show all the details with a completely new one, as these are going to be used for other test purposes. To create a new baseline, what we will have to do is to select a theme. I am going to use the test theme 1 and click on the new baseline form button. So the selected theme is test theme 1. Now we are able to add as many questions as we want for the baseline form. We have to remember that for each theme there will be only one published form. We can create multiple forms, but at a time the latest published one will be used for data collection for that baseline. I am going to add new field to add a new question. So while we are going to add new question, we will have to provide the title of the question. What is, for example, I am going to use some dummy data here. Type. We can use hint as well. We can select input type from this drop down. Clicking on the arrow will expand the drop down option. Here we will see we can actually add variety of question type. So we can add short text type of question, long text type of question, select one or select many, or numeric field, date, time, acknowledge. I'm going to add, eventually I'm going to add all of these, so you can see how these work. Besides the input type, there are some other checkbox as well: required, active, and use in action. If we check the required field checkbox, that means while submitting baseline data, these questions has to be answered, otherwise the baseline form will not be submitted. Active one denotes that if this question appear or not in the real form when it is published. And use in action, if we check this one, this field's data will be available for email template creation. So this baseline's data will be used for some other actions. So in that case, if we think that this field should be used, in that case we will actually check this one. For example, according to the question, what is the type, I am going to use a short text here. So this question will be added. We can at any time delete this question if we want by clicking on the red delete icon on right side. We are going to add another question. Description info description. So long type required. I'm going to skip this as required. Add another question. List. So select one. When we select the input type as select one, that means this question will have some options. So we have to add the options here. To add an option, simply click on the add options and then add option 1, option 2. We can delete any option by clicking on the delete icon. Option 3. So now we are going to add another question. So all the information I am using here is just for test purpose. Select many, as this one is also going to have some options, so we have to add the options. 1, 2, 3, 5. Then we are going to add some other questions as well. Numeric value, numeric field. Going to add some other questions. Type time. Add some other question. So we have actually added all of the types here. I'm not going to add any more, as this is just for the demo purpose. We can add as many questions as we want with the types we want. I'm going to save this question. We just have saved this one. That doesn't mean that whenever anyone is going to collect the baselines, it is available. We see that the theme is not available here, this theme one, because no question is published under that theme yet. So we are going back to the baseline forms, and here we have the drafted one for test theme. We can actually edit this one again by clicking on the edit icon. As I mentioned before, we can edit any of the question here. And simply update. We can actually add skip logic from here. So adding skip logic, I'm going to show how to add skip logic. We have to keep in mind that when we are going to add skip logic, you cannot add a skip logic to a field with fields that are above that field. You can drag and drop field to reorder the fields. After finalizing the reorder, you have to press the confirm reorder button. That means we cannot actually add any skip logic on this field as it don't have any field above, or we cannot add any skip logic for this field as with the question actually, like, let me share. This is a numeric field, this is a select many field, this is a select one field. We can actually add skip logic depending on select type of field. Here we have select one and select many. We cannot add any skip logic depending on the fields that are below the desired one. If I want to add skip logic for this field, I cannot select any field from the below. So I am going to add this one depending on this, like select one from the option list. We can set the equal or not equal value from here and select the option for which this field should actually appear. So I am going to add option 3. That means this question, how many members, will only appear if someone select the value for this question as option 3. So I am going to add this logic. This logic is added. Similarly, we can add logic for any one of the field. If we can actually reorder by clicking on the items. So you see that I have taken the last one to the immediate topmost position. So after all the changes, we have to click on the confirm reorder button. So I have clicked on the confirm reorder button. That means the skip logic is added. So now if I go to the view, so it will load the form for us, the initial view of the form. So here we see the question is appearing as we wanted. The question label, hint, the one that we have kept required are showing as required. This one was not required, that's why red asterisk is not here. So for the select one option, there was a dependent field before it, I believe. So if we select the option 3, so the field is appearing. If we select any other option, the field is not appearing at all. So we see that we have added two options with same name. That means we are going to edit this one. So I am going to discard this and going to edit this one, going to that particular question. Sorry, again I have done something. Okay, I am going to update this question, and again I am going to check the skip logic as I have skip logic dependent to it. So the skip logic, as I have updated the value, the last one's value was 4, previously it was 3, now it's 4, so it's appearing here as well. So you can safely go back. Now you can again check the form. So as now everything is working as expected. If I select the option 4, the field is appearing. So now if we feel that the everything is working fine, we can publish it. Whenever we publish it, we have to keep in mind that none of the questions for the next versions will be actually able to deletable. We will not be able to delete any one of the question. We can active or inactive any of the question and publish new form, but we cannot delete any one of the existing ones. That means we have to keep in mind that whenever we published, we are sure that we need all these fields. But if in future we think that any of the field is not required anymore or additional field need to be added, we can do that. But we cannot delete any one of them. So I am going to publish this one. So when I have published this one, anyone who is trying to collect the baseline data, they will be able to see this from now on. If we click on the baselines and try to select the available theme, we will see that test theme is there and we can create baselines under that. So this is how the baseline form is going to be look like. So there are some additional static field which are common for all the baselines. That's why these fields are here. I believe till this field all the fields are static, and for every baseline form these fields will appear by default, and all the dynamic fields that we have added or modified will be present from here. So this is how a baseline form is published. Now if we think that we need to modify this, the published one, in that case what we will have to do is select that one and edit. But before that I'm going to show you in the archive filter. We see that in the archive filter the test theme one is not present because for test field 1 we haven't yet archived anything. So I'm going to go back to the form again, the published one. Here I am going to edit this one. First I am going to show you the edit one. So if we want to edit this one, what we can do is we can edit or update the existing fields only. We can remove the require, or we can remove the question at all from this field. So I am going to update. So the form is updated. So if anyone is, so let me show the form again. If we want to see this form, so we will see that that particular question is not appearing because we have unchecked the active button. So whenever we are going to the baselines collection, and for this theme, if we want to collect the data, we will not see that field here anymore because that one is inactivated. But that is for the existing ones. I mean, if we want to active or require any existing fields only, in that case. What if we want to add new field or remove existing fields? So in that case, if we want to add new field, we have to copy the existing one by clicking on the copy icon. So a new baseline form is added actually. So we can update the labels for the existing one from here. And we will also be able to add new field. I'm just going to add only one field and save this one. Still now I haven't yet published the new form, so when if anyone is trying to add baseline for this theme, they will not get these updated changes. If we see and try to select, The new field is not yet here, but if we want to publish this I mean the baseline questionnaire, what will happen is the latest updated one will be go to the archived version. As we have seen, there is no archived version of the test theme one. So I am going to the drafted one and by clicking on the eye icon will show me the view. Now I will be able to publish it. So I am going to publish it. Whenever I have published one the new form for the existing theme, what will happen is if we go to the baseline forms and click on the archive, we will see that the one we previously published is archived here. Okay, let me, sorry, it appears at the top. Yeah, so we can see it that this was our form and it is here. And if we go to collect the baselines, now we will see that the updated published form is present here with the new test field. So this is how we actually uh, manage the baseline forms. There are three states: drafted, published, archived. At the very beginning, with a theme that has no baseline form published, that will not appear at all for baseline data collection. We have to select the theme and click on the new baseline form. Then we will click the form, create the form, modify it as many times as needed before published. So when we published it, it will be available for all for data collection as well. Then if we want to make any change by adding new thing to an existing form, we have to actually copy the existing one and then work on it, add the new ones and then published. Soon after we published one, the existing one will be go to the archived state and the published one will be visible for all. So this is how the baseline for management work. Thank you for watching the tutorial.